Welcome, everybody. I have a new co-host today. Welcome, Dan. Yeah, we got a full house today. This is exciting. So, as always, we start by meeting somebody new.
Lindsay Lewin.
Yeah, Jumbo, which is African for hello.
Hello.
How many of my Disney friends have gone on a safari? Jumbo. Okay, so you got to say hi to two people you don't know. If you're online, you got to direct message two people you don't know. You have 1 minute. Go. Hard to find people.
Hello, Keller Williams, and welcome to July. Can you believe it? Mark King here from Keller Williams Realty International, and the first half of the year is in the books. So good news is next month is Mega Camp month. Can't wait to see all of you in Austin, Texas. That's August 15th and 16th. So excited about that. And for all of us viewing this, what we know is the back half of this year could be a little dicey based on what happens with the government and the Fed and all those fun things. Here's what we know for sure. She who controls the listing controls the transaction. So right now I'm going to challenge you, double up on your listing activities in both your lead generation and your lead conversion. And so if we do that, we're going to be in great shape going into the third and fourth quarter and set up a beautiful 2024. Have an amazing, amazing month, and we'll see you at Mega Camp.
Awesome. We have 38 people online right now. We have the full house in here. Let's see if we can get Mark turned off. We'll try and go again.
Hello.
So we're excited because July was so, no, what is it? Last month was June, right? June, we had so many different special guests and everybody loved it. So we thought, hey, let's run that the rest of the summer. So this is our calendar for all of summer, Summer of Success. Today, July 11th, we have two special guests today. Next week, we have a cool guy named Dr. Algerian Hard. It's called Intentionally Aspirational, Cultivating the Dream. Did you all know you aren't just selling houses, you are changing people's lives, you're helping them live the American dream. That's gonna be a cool one. He's from Missouri State, that's gonna be incredible. CMAs for Success, we got some of our top agents gonna do that on July 25th. August 1st, gain market share through micro events with Meg Today. I think I'm saying her name right.
Yes.
Is that it?
She's great.
So that's gonna be an incredible one. In other words, all summer, you don't have to listen to me. Isn't that good? August 8th, strategies to manage your mindset in this market group. Brad Papa, his team up in Kansas City is called Papa's in the House. I think that's kind of cool. August, we're all going to Mega Camp and then Bold First Steps. So there's a lot of stuff going on from here till school starts. There ain't no excuse for not being educated, right?
No excuse.
That's right.
Educated.
Wait. We now interrupt your regularly scheduled team meeting for something special. Nicole, can you do a share screen? I got to unshare this one, don't I? Because we have a special guest. We have Molly D'Amatos joining us. Stop my share. That's scary.
Hey, Mike, can you make her host? I'm not able to.
Maybe. We are a technology company.
Hi, Molly.
Hey,
Hey y'all, what's up, y'all? Look at that beautiful house of wonderful humans.
Hey, Molly, we're gonna do our selfie right now. Can you smile? So Molly and I did not have a selfie together and I needed
Ridiculous.
one. So that was it. We got it.
Yay!
It took away my people.
We can see her up here though.
Okay, we're gonna go to,
He said, "Where are my people?
there's Molly.
Molly.
What's
Okay,
up, y'all?"
right.
I love how Jen was like, "Hey, Molly, can you smile?" I was like, "Wait, why are you smiling?" Smiling's my favorite. Awesome. Hey, y'all just want me to jump right in?
Yeah, it
What a
is.
great looking group of humans. First of all, give yourselves a round of applause. I just want to say hello, and I love to start. Oh, very good. So coachable. All right. So hello, Springfield. So I just want to start off today by thanking your amazing leadership. They are so invested in your growth and your happiness that they continue to work super hard to bring you education opportunities that are full of value. And today is no different. They were like, "Molly, we don't need no bold sales pitch. Come teach us something amazing." So make sure you've got a pen, paper. I wrote a really fun class for y'all today so that we can spend the next couple of minutes bettering ourselves together. This is really tough to do for leadership to continue to bring you cool, fresh stuff. So the best way I know to thank them is to be engaged and pay attention. That way you'll create that fun win-win that we love here in Keller Williams. You might even learn something that helps you get into production. And obviously that helps you both. So real quick, who the
Molly?
heck? Yeah,
Molly, before you go in, can we have you introduce yourself and your roles in KW and kind of
Yeah.
tell?
totally. That's what I'm about to do. I got to get people a second to get the pens and the papers and the things.
So in other words, I should go away.
I got this. I love you. All right. So yes, great point. This isn't about me. The next several minutes won't be about me. However, I love relationships and I trust I'm going to be forming some new ones today. So for transparency and clarity, who the heck is this person? My name is Molly, Molly DeMatos. You can just call me Coach Molly. I've been a realtor for 18 years. I have co-owned and functioned as CEO and an agent in the Matt and Molly team up here where I live in the mountains of Western North Carolina. For those of you who know this beautiful city called Asheville, I've been here for 25 years and in real estate for 18 of them. I've been a Keller Williams University instructor for 11 years, a MAPS Bold coach for 7 years. I'm also the dean. They call me the dean of K-Score at Keller Williams Realty International, you know, just because why not one more thing? So that's just a smidge of a blip about me. Why is that important? I think it's pretty cool to know because I certainly, as you can tell, have a passion for and an understanding of mindset and how that journey can impact whatever you want to call it, your production, your results, your goals, however you define success. That's what I love to do. And everything that I do kind of comes into play with that. So let's start this off right. In our little blip of time that we're going to get to share together today, you're going to have an experience, right? Everyone in here is already having an experience and you're going to continue to have it. You're going to hear things and learn things. You're going to have an opportunity to participate, to make decisions, to act on what you learn here. Very important point. Jen knows this about me. I want to make sure everyone does. Please don't ever mistake my passion for bold coaching, for the mindset journey, for all the things we're going to talk about. Never mistake that passion for selling. My goal is to spend a couple of months with you in a class called Bold. Don't get me wrong. I would like that result today. However, my passion comes from this journey because it authentically changed my life. Bold changed my business. It changed my mind over the years, focusing on progress. So when you hear me today ask you to take action or change your thinking, I'm only going to ask you to listen, to be open to it, and allow yourself the opportunity to take a stand for better. I promise better is, well, it's better. Yeah, we're going to embroider that on a pillow. It's going to be, that's good. That's famous stuff right there. So let's dive in. For my note takers, I'm a note taker. I like to put the title at the top. Let's call this Mindset Matters. I'm going to give you 3 tips today, Mindset Matter tips that are going to help you set, reset, grow, and repeat your mindset. We're going to work on building a foundation for setting the mindset, resetting the mindset, growing your mindset, and then repeating that process. Kind of like on the back of the shampoo bottle when it says, for best results, lather, rinse, repeat. It's the repeat part that gets the best results, right? And that's what we kind of do with our mindset. We just don't always think about it though, because no matter your current surroundings, whether it be 3 years of COVID fog, the real estate market, the stock market, your kids, retirement, whatever, every one of us is on some kind of journey. And with journey, you have movement. So first step, have faith in being moved by the lessons you learn. No matter where you are on the path of your journey that we are going to start on today and finish on October 3rd, we're on a journey together. Jeffrey Gitomer is one of my favorite authors, and he has one of the best quotes in the world. Y'all ready? He teaches us that positive attitude is defined as the way you dedicate yourself to the way you think. The definition for a negative attitude is exactly the same. Isn't that crazy? Looking around, y'all look, your minds are blown. I love this. Great. So this is about what we're focused on. And in bold, we say what you focus on.
Expands.
Yeah. Bold room. I love it. Jen's like, yeah, nailed it. All right. So in our minutes together, starting today, I want you to focus on the way you're thinking. In fact, we've got a great mix. I'm looking on this beautiful screen. We've got folks on Zoom, folks in the room. Many folks have their video off. It could be because you're thinking, I look bad, I'm in the car, my kids running around, I ain't got no pants on, I'm distracted, whatever. I want to look at my phone without anyone judging me. The interesting thing about our thoughts and what we're focused on is that they will potentially define what we learn together and how we experience our time together today. So to prove this, because I like to be right and look good, how am I doing? Great. I'm going to do a little experiment with y'all. I'm going to encourage you to participate by adopting thoughts that are going to support your growth just for the next 10 to 15 minutes or so. So in a minute, when I say go, not yet, you're going to repeat after me in your head, not out loud. Don't be that guy. Come on. You're going to adopt this thought. This is called a coached affirmation. Y'all ready? So you're going to repeat this to yourself in your head. If it helps you, like it helps me, you can close your eyes. You don't have to. All right, ready? I will be present. Truly present and focused on this learning experience for the full duration, because this is fun and I deserve this growth. Now take a deep breath in, put a smile on your face. Genuinely, don't you feel a little bit better? A little more focused? A little more present? Yeah, I'm seeing some head nods. I like it. That's what's so cool about the power of your mind. You can condition yourself to get some of your focus back. Anybody besides me had lost a little bit of focus during the Rona times? Yeah, it's been tough. This concept, though, this choice attitude, it's been a foundational mindset piece that we, and when I say we, I mean like all of us, the collective humanity, we have had access to for decades, for centuries. Orson Swett Marden, yeah, you can tell he's old because that's the name, right? He wrote in 1916, he wrote a book called Victorious Attitude. He said way back then, to think you can creates the force that can. We can think and grow rich. We can win friends and influence people. Y'all, I can go way back to seek and ye shall find. And we see the positive mindset has been a personal growth must do, like literally forever. So why don't we just do it then? Why aren't we just all awesome mindset gurus who do all the great things all the time? We're always happy. We're always positive. Well, first of all, that's crazy. Secondly, because the mindset journey is hard. It's not easy. It's tough. It's painful. It's full of failure. And that's why in this sense, mindset growth and intention isn't about the chosen few. It's about the few who choose and fail and choose and fail and choose again. The only way you can lose on your mindset journey is to either not get on it or quit. So to grow from our experience today, please know the first step is to make the hard choice, knowing this journey isn't for the faint of heart. It's not always fun. It's not always easy. There's no finish line. There's no medal. There's no doggone trophies. Yet along the way, right, you earn your prizes. They show up in the lessons you learn, the people you help, and my favorite part, the you become along the journey. Whether it's our next 10 minutes together today, or the choices you make for the rest of the day, or the decisions that follow you until Friday, to the end of the year, your career, your life. Decide first each and every day that you are worth the effort you're going to put in. Because think about it. I'm a nice Southern lady, so I'm not going to ask everyone to say your age. Yet truly think about how many years it's taken you to develop the mindset you have today. Think about that. It's taking you that many years to develop your current mindset. So of course, it's going to be a journey to develop the mindset you desire, the mindset you love, the mindset that serves you and your goals. So your mindset does matter. And bringing purpose and awareness to designing and developing and cultivating that mindset matters. So I promised you 3 tips. Here they come. Mindset matters back to basics. Tip number 1 is this. Be committed. Two M's, 2 T's. I know, it's so weird. Why is committed and commitments? But anyway, be committed. Be committed and be patient with that commitment. The you desire to become will show up when you work on that person daily. I'm going to say that one again for my note takers there in the front. The you you desire to become will show up when you work on that person daily. My biggest hope for y'all is that each of you will seize the opportunity to wake up every single morning as a better version of yourself, right? Dave 2.1, Mike 2.2. There's an old Zen saying, I love this. It's the Zen saying says, after my house burned down, I saw the moon more clearly. Whoa, right? Are you conditioning your mind to think like that? Are you looking for the good? Are you out there really looking for it? Conditioning your mind to find it. We learned this back in kindergarten, right? You learned to play in hide and seek. You can't win the game unless you hustle. Go on a hunt, get after it, find it. Because y'all, we only find what we go looking for. And when it comes to happiness and positivity, we got to get after it. And that leads me to your Mindset Matters Back to Basics tip number 2. Be intentional. Be intentional. So how intentional are you about conditioning yourself to become that happiness hunter? Are you seeking out happiness in every situation? Now, time out before y'all get sideways. I'm going to be like, this lady's crazy. Everything's not all hunky-dory and sprinkles and rainbow farts. Let's get real here. This isn't about denying reality. This isn't about painting a false picture. Diana Kokoska used to teach us, she said, this isn't a suggestion to put a smiling face sticker over your gas gauge and drive into the desert. La, la, la. Not what this is about. This is about acknowledging reality and then choosing how you will exist within it. Now, the good news is the more you work on it, that's the intentional part. The more you work on it, the less vulnerable you'll become to negativity. Negative thoughts are incredibly impactful. They have a legitimate physical and psychological impact on your life, your health, your performance. In fact, in one of Jeffrey Gitomer's books, super cool, he's got this little list. You can't see it because it's how do negative thoughts and feelings affect you? So I want you to imagine for a second, I'm going to be one of those pill commercials, and I'm going to give you all the side effects for swallowing the pill of negativity. Y'all ready? They drain your energy, block positive thought, cause stress, cause worry, cause illness, block creative thought, cause errors, reduce productivity, cause anger, prolong painful situations, affect the way you listen to others, affect the way you communicate with others, affect the way you deal with others, and take the fun out of your life. Who's going to swallow that pill? None of us is going to be like, yeah, I'll have that. Right? Yet, in life, crap happens, right? People happen. Sometimes crappy people happen. And the thing about that, y'all, is these situations, these people, these events, they will either break you and your mindset journey, or they will grow you and your mindset journey. And that is determined by how much intention you bring to your everyday interactions, your experiences, and your environment. It's conditioning by design. Now, every single one of us, as far as I can tell on this beautiful screen of amazing people, are human. So every one of us will mess this up. We may default back into the victim uniform. Do you all know what victim uniform? Do you know what victims wear? They wear poopy pants. Victims wear poopy pants and they throw pity parties. And it's going to happen, right? I've had some pity parties. I've worn the poopy pants myself. Yet the growth comes when we recognize we put the pants on. We throw the party. So we've got to design the ability to own the uniform we put on. Poopy pants or purpose pants. It's your choice. You're going to throw a pity party or a production party. It's up to you. Starts with intention, though. The attitude you choose to wear and adopt is up to you. And that leads us to our final Mindset Matters Back to Basics, which is number 3. My note takers. I love y'all. You're so good. This is going to be a really fun bold. Take responsibility for everything you can. Let's say it again. Take responsibility for everything you can. You get your power back by taking ownership and responsibility for the status of your situation, of every situation. Realize what's within your control and then be honest about it. You're not in control of what happens once you choose your environment. You can't shut up those crappy people. You can't always stop the bummer situations from happening. That's outside of your control. Yet, if you can take responsibility for how you choose to act and how you choose to react, how you choose to be, and how you choose to think about it, it's recognizing that's your superpower. that's going to allow you to put yourself in a position to grow, to learn, and to crush life. Now, the truth is, y'all, the outs are out there. Don't like something, something's unfair, it's unfun, it's boring, it's hard. Yeah, the excuses are there. They are ripe for the picking. The truth, though, is the yeah buts, the blaming, the excuses, these are just cheap, self-deprecating ways to justify our own failures. Oh, we thought we liked her. Yeah, the truth hurts, yet remember, the truth will also set you free. Because take a deep breath, take that off. This is not about making all the right choices all the time. We all wander down the path of least resistance sometimes. Every one of us might skip the extra mile. Easy street is okay to walk on sometimes. Just don't lie to yourself about the choice you made to take it, right? Because that lie, those excuses, those yeah buts, they rob you of your ability to learn from that choice, grow from that choice, and come back better next time. Here's another old quote from a dude named Aldous Huxley. He said, "It's not about what happens to you, it's what you do with what happens to you." So by understanding where your power comes from, you're going to find it easier to choose how you act and react, and then take responsibility for your DNA within it. Back to Simon, he's a great guy. Simon Sinek says, "The common denominator in all my failed relationships is me." When we choose to own that, we choose to grow from that, we're then able to create the person who learns to win that life by design. So quick recap. Are y'all feeding back? Am I hearing two of Molly? Fisher team put me on, they were like, put her on the surround sound. This is good stuff. Hey, Fisher. Okay, there they go. Awesome. Perfect. So quick recap for my note takers. Number one, be committed and be patient. Let go of perfect and learn to celebrate simply being aware. Y'all, sometimes my greatest win of a day is that I admit I put on my poopy pants. That's a win. I can grow from that. Number two was be intentional. Refocus every day, every hour, every moment on how intention and purpose play a part, especially when it's hard, especially when I don't wanna. And number three, take all the responsibility you can get your hands on. Now, to close this out, first of all, that was a fun 15 minutes of cool tips. Yet it's tough, right? Yeah, right. This isn't always easy. The cool thing is that you've got help. You're always going to need it. Sometimes the bravest thing you can do is raise your hand and say help. So as I started off this class with, this journey is better because you're going to be on it. It's not for the faint of heart, yet having a support system is key. The good news for everyone today is that you will legitimately start to do all three of those things that we just learned, because awareness, obviously, and then your decision to sign up for Bold, to choose this environment. Those two things, simply by preparing yourself for a new environment, for what's to come, for what we're going to do together this fall, end of summer, fall, that decision will change you. Your leadership brought you this message today because this Bold, this important time, this will be your fourth quarter gear up in motivation. I know you've seen the reasons why. They're all over the place, like 12 transactions, although they're saying 11, but I'll tell you the truth, it's 11.7. So it's like really 12, just saying. Transactions per agent, that's average. We know all the reasons why. Bold genuinely creates success stories. I could tell you 100 of them. The cool part is, why don't you help me write yours? Help me help you write yours. Because last little point, and then I'll let you go back to your leadership and your meeting. The low-hanging fruit of excuses is ripe for the picking. Your limitations will tell you loudly, you don't have time, you can't afford it, it's not important, I've already done it, it's inconvenient. Well, all right, y'all, that's fine. If you believe you've reached your full potential as a human, as a parent, as a friend, as a real estate agent, if you believe you've made it, cool, sit this one out, all good. Yet in the great words of my dear friend Ice Cube, chickadee check yourself before you wreck yourself. Find the strength today to bypass the selection of the excuse. Reach higher and commit to Full Bold by registering today. Your future self will thank you. And on October 3rd, when we graduate this experience together, you're going to look back at this moment today and you're going to thank the strong you that bypassed excuse land and took a big step into your next version of your best self. I'm going to sign off for now and let your leadership take it from here. They're going to explain some of the fun stuff they put together for you, incentives, plans, giveaways. There's like yogurt or something. I don't know. I'm going to encourage each of you to fill out that registration form now, and do not leave until you hand it to your leadership, either filled out and ready to roll. What's up, y'all? I'm ready. Or with a note about a conversation you'd like to have them help you join us on August 22nd. That's it for me, my friends. It was great to see all y'all. I trust you enjoyed today, and I look forward to a lot more time.
Today's a double header. We also have Dave Bialke, who's going to tell us how to do extreme open houses. But we want to start with Molly to get you into the mindset of what's coming up. And Jen, I don't know how many of you realize Jen is head of MAPS Coaching, like the biggest coaching company in the world. This is her.
Every day I wake up surprised by that.
And how many bolds is Molly doing this year?
1.
Yeah. So she wasn't going to coach it all this year, and she decided because of Jan and Den.
There was begging involved.
There was
though.
begging
Just
involved.
kidding. She loves Springfield. She's
But
excited.
so it is a capacity of 150. We're going to be able to sign up first, and then also Joplin is signing up also, and then Branson, Tri-Lakes, and then Kansas City. It is going to max, but it's going to be that kind of content, and it's both been rewritten this year, correct?
Bold has been rewritten, so you'll see sprinkles of it in step 1 and 2, and then the majority of those changes come step 3 and beyond. And so it has been rewritten with all of our top coaches. It has been rewritten with Gary. Gary has all of the student manuals right now and is making adjustments. Jason's been part of it. Mark King has been part of it. I've got some in my car that I'm still kind of going through. So it has been rewritten. And I think the important thing is, if those of you that were on the growth call yesterday, Mark talked about, he's been to Bold how many times? 13?
13.
So Mark King has been 13 times, and he said he was going to go this year. He was like, I'm finding a market center that's close to me so that I can attend. And so it looks different for each of us, right? I'm no longer in production, yet I've already signed up. I've signed up for Full Bold because I can still get better at relationships, right? I can still grow a business. I can take the lessons that we learn in Bold and translate it into what I need. And it's been a hard year. It's been a hard couple of years. And one of the things that Molly talked about was kind of re-energizing, kind of purposing yourself and focusing in on that mindset. It's 100% what I need right now, right? Coming out of towards the end of summer, kids getting ready to go back into school, and the challenges that we've been through. I mean, I've got several MAPS coaches that are in the room, and it's challenging countrywide. And the number one thing that I know that we can do to change it being hard is by getting into production. And so Molly was correct. It is 11.7. We say that it's 11 because, as Dan knows, I don't love fuzzy math, so it's always accurate. One of the things though is, guys, that's average agents. An average agent will do 12 transactions in this 7-step program.
12 in addition to what they normally do.
In addition to what they normally do. Those are average agents. When I look at this room, there's nobody in here that's average. We have the number 8 market center in Keller Williams. You have an incredible leadership team. You've got a great OP, you've got great TL, ATL, productivity coaching, MCA, GM. We've got the dream team here. When you have more than 20% of your market center that's in Bold, do you know what happens? It changes your multi-year trends. It changes market share. It changes what we can do in Southwest Missouri. The other part of that though is, if you've got someone that you're like, I would love for them to be part of KW, it's also the ability to bring an agent. It's not just for KW agents.
Right.
So if you've got someone that maybe you're afraid to have the conversation with recruiting, what we know is if we can get, let's say 6 cappers in a room, we know 60% of them will join in the next 12 months. The other thing is, when they join, their retention is much higher because they started with the foundation. So BOLD is the base of KW's educational model. Educational model is we're gonna role model, we're gonna role play, and then we're gonna real play. It gets you out of fear and into fearless. When you get there, you have the ability to do some pretty amazing stuff. So I know that we have signed up, I've signed up, Dan has signed up, we've got 9 people on our team that are gonna come because we wanna change our story. We wanna change the story for Q4 for our agents. We wanna change 2024 for our agents.
So wait a minute, one of the top teams in our area is almost all coming to this?
All of our agents are coming and our
So-
inside sales.
So there
agents.
must be value to it?
There's a ton of value. And the thing is we brought listing presentations back, buyer presentations back. I mean,
The things that we're missing
mhm,
are back.
for some
Okay.
owners.
Here's a-
Yes.
Yeah,
The 22nd is the first day of school for SPS, so is there gonna be a start time change?
yes. So,
Yes, I don't know those.
Told ya.
answers.
so.
Listen, we had to get special approval for this, y'all. This came from the top. Like nobody changes the time of BOLD, and your leadership fought for it for you to make sure their first day of school was your first day of school.
So here's what
Good
we're
job,
doing.
Dan.
You all are getting your kids into school and doing the first day of school pictures. The BOLD starts at 10 that day, and we're doing a first day of school picture.
Bring your backpack
Yeah.
And your bold.
Bring your
planners.
backpacks. We're gonna have a first day of school picture for all of us coming back. And because as Dan said the other day, we're still in a COVID fog. We've not adjusted our brains back. This is a reset. And what I loved as a past teacher, beginning of fall, every team is undefeated. Every band has not had a bad rating yet. This is a fresh start. We're starting fresh and this new content. How many people have had this content before?
We have 1 lab going right now, so 54 people in North Carolina are going through BOLD so we can test it out. So that we actually have like proven results for the new content. So you, after those 54 people, you all are number 1.
So we're the first ones to get it. We
Yes.
have the top coach, we have the top maps person. You all, okay, here's another stat we learned yesterday. Raise your hand if you've sold more than 4 houses in the last 12 months.
I still can.
Congratulations, you're in the top 8% of realtors across the country. That's how many have not sold more than 4 houses. So as Jen said, you are not average agents. We are above average. And honestly, like James Shaw told us a few weeks ago, if you do just what you did last year, you're gaining market share because everybody else is going down. What if we gain market share on top of just staying where we are? So, couple things. Our
I
goal.
would like to just point out how I took my notes, which were on dry erase boards.
Yeah, these hang over here on the refrigerator all the time, so she grabbed those.
I
new
can't
notes.
wait to see what I thought I meant by poopy pants versus productive pants.
Nicole sent me a couple notices here real quick. Okay, so our goal by the end of today, both live and on screen, we got 40 people on screen, is to have 30 people signed up in addition to what we've got.
How many do we already have?
24, 19 total, 24 bold, or
19.
24 first steps.
We want this to be like the Springfield takeover because they're being real nice and inviting other market centers, yet y'all have dibsies. So let's roll.
So first off, everybody that signs up today, and by sign up means you get one of these forms into us. Everybody that signed up today or has signed up already gets, hold on, gotta get my app ready, gets free pineapple whip.
That's me.
Okay, listen.
For
ready?
life?
For life.
What's pineapple whip?
Whip.
It's the best, if you stay at my house, you
Oh,
can have some.
Molly,
He's got a technical difficulty with it.
it's our version of Dole Whip at Disney.
Got it. Got
So,
it. Roger that.
and it's really good with rum, just so you know.
Oh, yeah.
So everybody that signs up gets a 1 free pineapple whip, not a lifetime. And 2 people, because we're gonna do a drawing at the end of today, are getting dinner, $50 gift card to Jim's Steakhouse.
And that's for people that already signed up too?
Already signed up too.
And someone can have my notes.
That would not be fair otherwise.
I'm like,
And
we
we're
had
gonna
that
auction off the
discussion,
notes
yes, we do.
Hey, y'all. Hey, y'all. Throw in 2 more $50 gift cards. I'll pitch in for 2 too. Let's roll.
I will either have lunch with you or give you a coaching call, either one. From me.
So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 items so far. There's two-
Gotta be signed up by end of day today, though.
And you don't, I have lunch with you every Wednesday.
So there's 2 ways to sign up. The cost to do both is $7.99. Anything of value has cost to it. Some of you are gonna say, yep, just sign me up right here. This is the form you do on that, and you just fill out the info on it. If you need a payment plan, we have a payment plan here, so there's 2 separate forms. Or if you're a first-time attendee, there is a way to get a scholarship on it. Okay, so there's 3 different ways. You just pay it outright. Nicole, is that going on their office account?
No.
No, Alanda's here.
Provide their credit card info.
Okay, so you just put your credit card, we just charge you right on that. Or we have the payment plan or the first time attendee. So just so we can kind of see where we're at, raise your hands for us if we can see how many of you are thinking, yes, I want to do this.
And then if I already did it?
We've already
done
that.
Yeah, we already.
Yeah, if you've already signed up and if you've already done it.
There you go. Watch those hands. I love this.
That's more than the 30 I haven't seen online. If you're online, put a thumbs up if you're doing it. Okay, so, yeah, if you could. So let's do this. Let's have Jen do the payment plan ones
And I'll
and,
just do the regular.
and you got the regular.
Raise your hand if you're just sign me up, no payment plan.
Well.
Oh, rub you.
Yell at me if you
I
want
didn't
one.
catch the last sentence.
Y'all's market center is nice. You got layaway for bold. I'll dig that. That's awesome.
Mark Stewart, how many times have you been to Bold?
14.
Or you beat,
Okay.
Mark Stewart beat Mark King. I just
Listen.
like to point out.
Okay, Mark,
Just keep it up.
let me add the other camera. Hang on a second. Mark, I'm gonna put you on the spot. Yeah, tell us why you're going to go to your 14th bowl.
Every time I go, it just, I'm in a different place in my business and my life.
Everybody quieter so, because it's going through the microphones. Go ahead.
Every time I go, I'm at a different place in my life. And, I want to invest in myself. And, I love what I do. And I think a lot of people want to be great at something and be great at what they do, but they don't want to invest in themselves. And so Bold gives us that opportunity to invest in ourselves and be taught by Molly and other great Bold coaches that we've had.
And what's on
so-
your growth plan?
What's that?
What's on your growth plan?
To be a Bold
To
coach.
be a Bold
Yeah.
coach. Anything
So
else?
that's why I do it.
Woo!
Okay. Anybody else that's done bowl before, they could tell why. Elise.
This will be my 9th or 10th time. But you learn something different every single time about yourself, not necessarily about the business, because well, I should back up. So the first time I ever did it was when Diana was doing, it was her journals, her books, it gave me the skills that I needed to do better in life and in business and be better. And then this time I just wanted to learn from Molly.
Oh, good job, Molly.
Just the mindset that like what she can teach. I think I just want to learn from her.
I was just gonna say that I wasn't gonna do Bold this year,
Same.
but in
And-
2020.
And
In
I'm right here.
I was in the online Bold and Molly was one of the instructors, and that was 3 years ago. It left enough of an impact that when I heard she was teaching, I signed up.
We didn't even tell the new people what BOLD stands for.
Business Objective Life by Design.
It is not just about your business, it's about building a life, a legacy worth leaving, all those things we talk about every week. This is not just work, this is life. And this stuff you'll learn from, for example, go ahead.
Well, I was gonna say, Dan, the first time you went to Bold, you signed up then during that for then MAPS coaching.
Yeah, a couple of things if I could share. Bold absolutely was outside of Mega Camp was the one thing that changed the trajectory of my business and my personal life there forward. And I look back 10 years ago, Molly and I talked about the story. It was a Pat Mancuso. I still remember it. I know it's hard to believe. I was kind of obnoxious and loud and kind of a showboat in the class. Lee, you were there, you know better. Lee was prodding me on. And so Pat called me up in front of the room and goes, "Hey, big shot, why don't you just go ahead and sign up for full mastery?" And I said, "How much does it cost?" He goes, "Do you care?" And I said, "Nope." And I signed up, I didn't know it was $1,000 a month. That was in 1987, when you buy a car for $3,000 too. And absolutely changed my life. That's what actually prodded me to then start recruiting Jen to join the team, who now is the VP of coach. So you can probably thank me for changing the whole company. But if I may, and which also got Molly here. So see, this is what this did. But I've shared with the group, and I've shared with the leadership team, I am singularly as or more excited for Molly to come in this bowl, and I've said it. I said it 2 weeks ago. I said, this singularly is the best bowl coach we've ever had in Springfield. And I stood up in front of the room and said, quit shaking your head. That's modesty. Don't have that. We have big egos here, Molly. And I said, this is the one time I'm going to stand in front of this group and vouch and say, this is the one bold experience of all of them that we've had since 10 years that will change your business and your personal life and your trajectory from here forward. And I stand by that. And you can flog me publicly if she does really bad after October 3rd. I will stand up in front of it, and yeah, you can throw stuff at me, etc. But here's my point to that. We are the #8 market center and have been essentially in the top 10 for the last 5 years in closed units in the entire company. #8 out of 820 market centers. So keep that in mind. Over 2,000 locations. Okay, keep that in mind. The bar that we've set, like, I realize our perspective is just what we're around, and you just acclimate to what we're around, and we think it's normal. It's not. We're different. We're different because we bring different content, we develop different leaders, and we bring people like Molly in to do bold. She's different, she's special, and I promise you'll come out a different person.
I'm gonna tell you one thing, because I've only been in KW for 3 years, almost 4. Before that, I was at Old Well Banker for a long, long time. But the first thing I learned in bold was this thing called the DTD2, and it changed my life. Because I've always been told, call your database. Well, my stupid phone, because it's screwed up, has 23,000 people in it. I can't call all those. And it's actually 7,000, but it keeps repeating it. But when I'm told, okay, today call your A's and W's, next week call your B's, and that made a balance. It gave me just that one little thing like that changed my life. So you're gonna learn the ways to run your business better, ways to have a life better. This could be all kinds of different stuff.
And you get pineapple whip.
Yeah,
So-
for life.
I mean, if you can't do it for your business and yourself, do it for the pineapple whip.
I mean, come on, know your role. Okay, we good?
One more whip. Okay, so at the end of meeting, I'll need to get those papers. Actually, me, Landon, and Shanna, one of us will get them. So Dave, we've warmed up the crowd for you.
Bye, y'all.
Bye,
Hold on.
They want to say.
There we go.
So real quick before Dave gets started, I just want to share, Dave Bialke is out of Minnesota. He is a high producing buyer's agent, and just kind of put into perspective who we're getting ready to hear from. In the past 6 years, he's closed 550 transactions on the buy side. He's consistently setting 6 to 8 appointments by himself. That's not team generated. That's him as a buyer's agent going out, setting his appointments. Year to date, he already has over 100 buyer's agents agreements signed. So when we're getting ready to hear from this guy, I mean, is the master at buyer's agents. So Dave, help me give him a warm welcome, Dave Bialke.
Thanks, Jason. You guys hear me all right?
Let's try to get this
Yeah.
screen.
Wow. Can we get Molly to fly into Minneapolis?
Come to Springfield.
After us.
Yeah, that was pretty amazing. She's wonderful. Thanks for having me, guys. I have Jason as a maps coach who's helped me out with quite a bit. Asked me to help you guys out, maybe just with open houses and kind of how I set appointments. I assume most of you guys do, good amount of you guys do open houses, is that correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, it kind of is a nice tie-in after Molly, because one of my philosophies at least is a lot of kind of what she went off of with the words like intentionality, you know, being passionate, being aware, being responsible. When I do an open house myself, I started as the senior buyer agent about 7 years ago, and I started just really doing open houses, asking people in the office if I could do open houses before I joined the team. And, you know, I found that being curious, I guess, really helped me. The first thing I learned when I started to do an open house was I had to put judgments aside. You know, I think we all can admit that we go through millions of judgments a day. And as soon as I stopped judging the first or second or third person that came through the open house and came from, you know, they say contribution, but you know, when I came from a curious place of this different character, of this different individual, different personality, it really helped me start to connect with people. And so, you know, my story on open houses, where we're at right now is we have one ISA on the team. So the way that I'll get into the real, you know, bulk of how I set appointments here in a minute, but just kind of the whole setup for our open houses is we have one ISA on our team. And, you know, we have two high producing listing agents. So we'll always do a coming soon, you know, a week ahead of time. And within on a Monday, we'll start doing circle prospecting. So our ISA will start calling all the neighborhoods. I used to do that all myself. We've been fortunate enough to grow and hire the ISA, the inside sales agent, to call and invite everybody to the open house. And let's just say our open house is on a Saturday. So my goal is always to have 2 appointments set before I get to the open house. And the reason for that is from circle prospecting, you know, whether I do it myself or through a Mojo dialer or have the ISA do it, you know, inviting people to this party, right? Inviting them to the open house, inviting them to the nosy neighbor. Do you want to pick out a neighbor? So a lot of times we'll set a listing appointment ahead of time, right? Just because that neighbor will say, well, I was thinking of selling, or, you know, I have a friend who wants to buy this, you know, you live in this neighborhood. On a Thursday, I will always go out and door knock the open house. So I'll probably 50 flyers I typically will make. I call them the nosy neighbor flyers, our team does, and we make them in a bright colored, kind of noxious fluorescent colored paper. And we go, you know, I'm sure you guys have heard of some of these, you know, some of these tactics, but let's go and have conversations with the neighborhood and invite them to the party. We try to make it a party. We'll have, you know, refreshments there. So we typically will maybe set one appointment, even door knocking. But again, all this stuff really comes down to being intentional in my mind. When I do an open house, and let's say, for example, it's from 12 to 2, a 2-hour open house, I'm always setting a 4-hour window in my calendar for the open house. I'm always setting an hour of preparation to get in the right mindset, to get, you know, like Molly said, this is all about mindset and attitude. I can't, if I could tell you how many times I've set so many appointments with the right mindset and attitude, and then been at open houses where I, for whatever reason, was just not in the right attitude or mindset. Those same appointments typically would walk out the door and I let them go. So I've learned, for me, I've always set an hour ahead of time, getting in the right mindset, you know, whether it's affirmations in the car, whether it's listening to music to pump me up. But being prepared is a big part for me. So I'll also go pick up balloons and I'll post them out on signs. We have an assistant on our team a sign placer who goes and places directional signs. We'll place about 10 directional signs on a Thursday as well, pointing towards the open house. And then, you know, I try to get there about 15 minutes early and be in the right mindset. And that's where when I do the open house, I'm there to set appointments and I'm there to show value to people. Am I there to sell the house? Sure. We represent the client, so we are there for that. And my whole intention is to come in with the mindset that I can bring value to these people. What I've learned, I guess, is whenever I've learned to be a little bit frightened or a little bit like they're going to say no to me, there's no point for me to go to an open house. I've learned if I'm not there with 100% with intention to set appointments, it's a 2-hour period where I have the opportunity where people are actually coming to me. I'm not calling my database. I'm not calling past clients and asking them if they know somebody. We have people coming to us at an open house already 95% of the way. They're already saying they want to buy a house. We just have to show them the value and carry them the last 5% of why we can bring value to them. So, you know, by asking lots of questions, I try to really own my open house. I have everybody sign in. You know, not the moment they walk in, but you know, a typical open house will be, hi, how'd you hear about us? Awesome. Are you guys out shopping for a home today, or do you live in the neighborhood? Right away, I know if they are just browsing, if they have a nosy neighbor flyer, or no, we've lost out on 2 offers. Awesome. Who's your agent? So I found by asking the right questions, you kind of set yourself up for success. I do ask them to sign in, and I make it as comfortable as possible. Seller, we promised the seller we'd have everybody sign in. Just put your name and number down. And we also do drawings. I do a gift card for $25 maybe for every open house, anybody who shows up to Chipotle or something like that. So I get people to sign in. And really my goal has been through the last few years, it went from the beginning to setting up, getting numbers, getting names, and maybe even setting appointments or following up in the next day or two, to trying to set appointments at the open house. I mean, my goal is always to set appointments right there. And if I have a feeling it's going to be a busy open house, I'll bring a lender friend who I'll train in, we'll script ahead of time, and we'll get them to sign people in, or I'll bring another agent on our team. But my goal, I've learned, is to set the, if you have a comfortable conversation, I think a lot of this breaks down to, you know, just any human interaction or relationship in life. If you can get someone comfortable with you, if you can get them to trust you, that builds their confidence. And people usually work with people when they have trust, and they make, you know, buying decisions when they're confident. So, you know, it's one of those things, you're breaking down resistance, building relationships. So my goal is always to set an appointment there, because I don't know the statistical, you know, the stat on the chance once they walk out the door, but I know it goes way down, right? Because now, even if we really connected and they say, yeah, give me a call on Tuesday, we can set up a time. The chances, now, A, I have to call them, B, they have to answer, they can't be busy. You know, the chances just go down once they walk out the door. They're likely going to go to another open house. So my goal is really to be 1000% intentional during those 2 hours and be on my game to ask the right questions. We script, our team scripts Monday, Wednesday, Friday. We'll do one morning of open house scripting on just questions to ask, objection handlers. You know, I think one of the biggest thing I've learned in real estate through a family reunion, Keller Williams, was, I forgot who said it, but it was, if you can be good at only one thing in real estate, it was to be able to handle objections. And I truly believe that, because if you can handle objections and just have responses and conversations, that's what real estate's about. So for me, I'm getting people to sign in. I'm trying to set appointments. And then, you know, I'm sure you guys have all heard this a million times, but fortune is in the follow-up, right? So again, I try to even, I saw that extra hour after the open house. I'm not racing to get somewhere. I mean, it's already in my mindset, my calendar, that the open house goes till 3 typically, right? So I'm there, I'm making notes when everyone in the house is shut down, I'm entering them into my command. And then I'm actually calling and texting maybe the top, you know, whatever it is, 5 or 7 people who are really engaging. So, and whether it's a text, hey, I really enjoyed meeting you. I look forward to meeting you on Tuesday. Or one thing that's helped my rate for open houses, set appointments and actually keep appointments. I've learned over the years that setting the appointment, if you can set it at the open house, set it as early as possible. So if I set one I hold an open house on Saturday, don't set the appointment if you're engaging and they like you for a Thursday. What I've learned is they're going to other open houses. I've had too many times in the past where they call me on Wednesday and say, hey, I'm really sorry. We actually signed with another realtor on Monday or Tuesday. So I think, you know, remember, there's other people they're going to see. If they're not signed with people, try to set that appointment. I mean, I'll even, if I'm open, I'll try to set it that night or the next morning. But again, I think when you're doing an open house, I always say this, don't even do an open house if you don't want to be there. I mean, you have to go into these with the mindset, this is my open house. I own it. It's my party. They're coming to see me. And you don't have to, not in a confrontational way, but own the open house. I've seen too many agents where I'll train them in or I'll help them out where they're very skittish and you learn it over time, but you have to be confident in your open house. They're coming to your place. You represent the seller. So that's the way that I run my open houses. It is a process through the week leading up to it, which always helps. Those nosy neighbor flyers, I can't recommend them enough. Seriously, if you're too busy, pay somebody $50 to go door knock 50 of them. You'll be surprised how many people show up at the open house with a nosy neighbor flyer. But that's the way that I kind of run them. If I'm not able to set up the appointment at the open house, like I said, if I have an open house on Saturday, I'm scheduling time on Sunday. And then I'm scheduling follow-up time again on Monday to call them and engage with them. And then eventually after 1 week, if I've not been able to get a hold of them, we turn it over to our ISA on the team. But yeah, that's the way that I've been successful on holding them. I've learned a lot through the years of what to do, what not to do. It all comes down to some of the same basic principles. Your core values have to be there. You have to be passionate. I believe in bringing a lot of energy to the open house. I think energy is contagious. So you have to be intentional, but also be energetic and be friendly. And I think that all circles around, you have to want to be there. I've been on showings with buyers and we'll walk into an open house and that the agent holding it's on their iPad or on their phone or looking down. I mean, why, in my opinion, I'm way too busy. I have a family. Why even hold the open house? Why even show up to the open house if you're there to just take up 2 hours? So I truly believe they are one of the best sources to get leads. Again, like I said, your database is always great. I'm sure Gary Keller will never stop saying that because it's people that you know. But remember, you're still calling them and you need to do that anyways, but you're asking them who they know. You're asking them if they can refer someone to you. Open house, they're coming to you saying, I want to buy a house. You just have to connect with them. So I would say work on connecting with people, scripting around asking the right questions. And I mean, anybody can do it. I've helped agents in our market center who are very shy, who are fearful of doing open houses, be really successful at them. So it's not like I'm special. Anybody can do this. And I've probably closed around 250 transactions from open houses in the last 6 years. So I mean, a good chunk of those have came from open houses, and it can be exhausting. But if you just really pour in 2 hours of energy, 4 hours of energy to that one day and follow up, you could make a whole business out of it. So you guys have questions at all for me?
I have a question. So Dave, this is Jen. What is, like, you mentioned multiple times, like the asking the right question that you do like a role play around that. What is that? Like, what would be a great question for somebody that's just starting out or maybe hasn't been as intentional as you have been? What would be that first great question to ask?
Yeah, absolutely. I think, as you learn to do these open houses, it's kind of reading with intuition on people as well, getting them to warm up to you. So, by asking questions, we all know that, selling isn't, or telling isn't selling. And so, a lot of times when I ask them, hey, are you guys out shopping for a home? And they say, yeah, we are. Great. Okay, wonderful. Have you had any luck, making any offers? No, we're just starting. Okay, wonderful. I try to kind of isolate if they have an objective, or I will repeat and approve as far as trying to, okay, so you just started, for example, if they say, we just started, but we're in a lease, you might hear that a lot. We're in a rental or we're in no rush. Wonderful. what's important to you about not being in a time, in a rush? What's important to you about moving? Oh, well, we want to get in for the school district. I would really focus on not thinking of a response, but really listening to what they say so you can respond to it. I mean, that's the way I would do it, because you're always going to get either some kind of response, and it might be an objection of some sort. But if you can just respond to them, a lot of times we do hear, well, I'm in a lease, it's 6 months out, so we're not in a hurry. It's our first day out. Wonderful. That's great. Has anyone ever explained to you how the timeline works to buy a home? No. Okay, great. Would you love to sit down and talk about what it looks like and the timeline? It really, not to simplify this and make it sound easy, but it's really about having a conversation and just really answering what they respond with, right? A lot of times they'll say to me, oh yeah, we are working with an agent. Oh, wonderful. What's their name? They don't really know the name. So it tells me they're not really signed to someone. I ask them, are you signed with anybody? No, we haven't. Wonderful. Would you be open to a second opinion? No obligation. And so for me, it's usually 5 no's at the open house before I let them go. I mean, if they're signed with someone and they actually say, I'm in a representation, we all know we have to let them go. We can't really chase them down, but if they're not signed, I'm wrapping around 4 or 5 different ways before I really let them go to try to set an appointment.
Awesome. Does anyone else have any questions for Dave? Yeah.
I have a question for him. If they do have an agent, is there a way you can still like suggest properties with them to maybe keep your name with them even though they have one?
No.
The broker next to you said no.
I'm trying. We're trying to continue the conversation.
I don't know if that, you're right, you're not supposed to solicit business if they're in representation. I do give them my card. And the reason is if they say they're signed, awesome. Here's my card, give it to your agent. Or if you guys have interest in this listing, now you have my contact information. And then I'll maybe say a joke, or if your agent moves to Mexico or something, you're call me. I'd be happy to give you a second opinion. So I'm still handing it out. I still think I'm following all the rules, especially since I'm bringing their agent involved, getting them involved.
Everybody's looking at the broker.
Yeah, you can do that.
Yeah.
Give them a card and just say, just give this to your agent. That's fine.
Okay, that's all I wanted to know.
Good way to handle it. Dave, thank you for your time. Help me give him a round of applause.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks for being there. Okay, gang, this has been a lot of stuff today for you. We even had Dave's cool picture. I forgot to put it up here. There he is. So the thing I love that he said was he plans time after the open house to just call it. My mindset, I used to get done with my open house at 4. I had it shut down by 4:01. I was gone.
Yeah.
That was dumb. Why, like he said, why am I wasting my Sunday or Saturday if I'm not going to use it for a business reason? So I like that idea of blocking out another hour to get the stuff done, because by Monday, you're going to forget what you're doing.
Okay, that's 3 appointments before he even gets there.
Yeah. So open houses work, but how many of you have seen an agent or know them that just go to open the house for the seller? They don't do anything. Why waste your time? So. All right, we now return you to your regularly scheduled team meeting. Guess what? All the other slides have been recorded. They're on the Facebook page because we knew this was going to be along with the 2 great speakers we had. Have a great week. Remember, next week is Dr. Hart. It's going to be fantastic. Thank you all.
Make sure you get entered into the prizes that are happening today. I started it.
Nicole, let's see. Did you stop recording?
Yeah, well, and I can actually talk a lot of it to my phone and then just make it. The other thing I haven't done yet, I'll start answering